Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. First of all, please excuse the hair that's on my shirt and on my other shirts. It is getting warmer, Matrix is busy molting, losing hair, shedding, he's shedding, that's what he's doing. So it's going all over me. The front of the GLK is looking really good, especially with that Chinese aftermarket body kit. I just can't get over how good this looks. Now, on this episode, I'm going to try and attempt to do the rear of the GLK, so stay tuned. Oh, that's fancy, I'm not going to lie. First thing I've got to do is remove these tail lights. I've got brand new aftermarket tail lights. Baba, I get to use this light wand stick thing. I don't think I've used it yet. Yay, it's bright. First thing I've got to do is remove this cover on the side of the GLK. And then I have 1, 2, 3 nuts. Oh, where to go? Don't hide. There, 3 nuts. I need to remove, then disconnect our wire harness. Okay, I was able to remove the driver's side tail light, and I'm comparing it to the new aftermarket one, which will go well with this AMG body kit, but I am seeing a lot of similarities. Let me explain. This is the existing driver's side tail light. It looks really good, especially with the LED strips around the lights. It gives it a new modern kind of look to it. But let me compare it to the new aftermarket one. Here's the new aftermarket tail light. I haven't removed the wrapping yet. I'm not sure if I'm seeing any difference. I'm not sure if I'm seeing any difference between the new aftermarket replacement lights and this is the old existing stock tail lights. I don't think I'm seeing any difference. Yeah, there's no difference. Yeah, so I'm going to keep the old existing tail lights on. What the? Stupid chrome caps on the lug nuts once again. Good job, Mercedes. You see, it's off, but now it's stuck in my socket. I gotta beat it out with a hammer. It's not the first time I had to beat it out. Seriously, imagine you're stuck on the side of the road and you got to remove these stupid lug nut caps. It's now stuck inside your socket. You have another 4 more to go. And the only way I found to get this stupid thing out of there is to use a long screwdriver. You slip it over and you beat it on some kind of hard surface and it pops off. Come on, you stupid. Now you just repeat the process again. Oh yeah, Mercedes. This is a mechanic's band-aid. You don't need any of that plaster stuff or anything that makes it look special. A little bit of paper towel and electrical tape, good as new. I should actually load the Mercedes on the ground to loosen these lug nuts, but I have the parking brake on, so it should be no problem. Okay, that one's not going to come off. I have to lower the car down and get my breaker bar to break it properly. Woo! Huh, that wasn't that bad. Maybe I'm just that strong. Now with the GLK raised up, I can now inspect the rear end. I love inspecting rear ends on females. and everything's looking good. Are you serious? The exhaust muffler tip is not connected to the exhaust muffler. There's a gap. Is that how they used to do it? Do they still do it nowadays? Why am I sounding like that? Sounds ridiculous. But now I'm going to remove all the bolts on the under tray of this rear bumper. That one. Yes, I have removed a lot of the trunk area, but it's for very good reason. I need to get to these 4 bolts. They're located over here, which are underneath all the panels, and I'm already seeing an issue. Now to get to the 4 bolts, or they're real long, I don't know what you want to call them, studs. You got to remove the toolbox and also the parcel shelf as well. Now for the parcel shelf, I may have accidentally broken it. I was in a bit of a rush, I wasn't concentrating, and snap, broke it. The toolbox came off easy. Now to get to these 4 studs, you need a special tool, which I've made. The 4 nuts that actually hold the rear bumper on are 10mm, but they're really long. A normal extension is not going to reach there. So what I did is I took a 10 and I put it inside a 11/16 socket with a little bit of electrical tape, hammered it in to get a nice tight fit, and then duct tape around it. Not duct tape, electrical tape around it. So it's nice and sturdy, so I'm able to get over the stud, break the nut loose, and extract it. I hope this works. I don't want to buy a certain tool just for this bumper studs thing. Okay. Wow, they're really loose. The bolts are not exactly tight on there. That's a bonus. Got those out. Honestly, Mercedes played a prank on customers when they installed this rear bumper and having such a long bolt. Not all of it is threaded. Only so much is threaded. So I'm there spinning the bolt, I'm there spinning the nut for 2-3 minutes and not realizing that it's putting out. Then I look inside and I see that the rest of the stud is not threaded. It's just a guide. Anyway, all 4 are out. Now we get to actually remove the rear bumper. Most of the time when people remove GLK rear bumpers, there's 2 black sections that actually hold the rear bumper in place. There's 2 nuts that you got to remove. Well, that's what people think. You don't need to. This is the holding clip right here that holds the rear bumper to the GLK. You don't need to remove those 2 nuts. All I've got to do is just gently pry the plastic away from this part of the bumper here. You can see the wings or tabs. Just go pry it very gently away. Just lift it up, and then when I pull the bumper away, it should slide out. Well, that's the theory. Okay, the side panels are popped off. Mercedes shouldn't have called this the GLK, they should have called this the Ha-Ha. So I'm going to use 2 tools to try and pry this thing off here. That's 1. 4. So much easier. Yeah, so I'll just do a whole like chopsticks kind of thing. And off it comes. Now here is the new aftermarket rear bumper. The things I can install are things like the side reflectors and the park distance control sensors which go around the bumper. But besides that, I think that's all I can install, to be honest. I do have chrome trim pieces that I can get on, but they got to respray paint this bumper, and that needs to come off so they can get resprayed. And I'm worried about breaking the tabs on the chrome pieces. They're not exactly chrome, they're more of that plasticky kind of chrome thing to it, so I'm a little concerned about breaking any tabs. But let's get as much as we can done on this rear bumper. And then you're in a position and you give them a love tap some way. There we go. Installed. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Finally, the new park distance control sensors have arrived. They don't do anything, especially on my GLK. I don't have that option. But, you know, for plugging up holes or things like that, I guess I'm going to use them. Now, one thing is that they do have a rubber ring around it, which is going to make it stand out, especially with the black. But if I remove it, you see it's just black. It doesn't have this rubber, white rubber, where it's going to have a contrast to the black of the grille. So I'm not going to install it with these grommets on there. I am a little concerned about these plugs, that they're going to get mud and dirt and stuff like that. I don't care. I mean, there's no plugs that connect to this anyway. Bam, bam, boom. There, they're installed, I think. Yeah, there we go. Now they're installed. Hey, there we go. Yep, I'm just going to remove the rubber ring that goes around the sensor. There we go. I had to remove this bracket for the rear bumper. These are the studs I'm talking about. Look how long they are. I mean, I wish I had something that long. But this is the bracket that I need to put on the new aftermarket bumper, where I can fasten it to the GLK. Fits like a glove. Oh, that's a relief. There's also some kind of lip as well with this bracket, which was kind of important, as I didn't want to have any kind of lip, but I'm happy that everything is fitting like a glove. Awesome. Now I believe we can get the rear bumper installed on the GLK and see what it looks like without most of the chrome pieces. Whee! First, I want to give the back of the GLK a bit of a clean. It is dusty, but still in really good shape. I'm happy there's no rust. So this is the area where the passenger rear tail light goes. This is the bracket I was talking about. So a few people actually remove these two nuts and remove this whole bracket with the bumper. The correct way to do it is actually remove the tabs from here. This is the bracket I was talking about. A lot of people remove. You don't need to. Not gonna lie, I am a little nervous of installing this rear bumper, as it was tricky to get it off. But I'm just gonna send it now. Oop, that clicked in. Clicked in, don't click in this here. Oh, driver's side, what are you doing? I'm way off on the driver's side. Why? We will get to that in a second, but the first thing I want to do is put the 4 nuts in the studs that hold the rear bumper on, so the rear bumper doesn't fall off. Here's a little trick that I learned. So when you're putting a nut on a long stud, sometimes the nut will fall off the socket. What I learned is sometimes you can use some grease or Vaseline or something like that, and you just stick it around the nut, you stick it in the socket, and it won't come off until you put it off. So like that. And now you can see I can move it around whatever position and the nut's not falling off. Just a little tip. bumper's fitting on pretty well, except I'm way off on those holes. Like this one has got to fit over here. Now what I see is, get some light, the guard that I just put on where those long stud things are, there's a longer piece that comes down, and that is hitting the bumper support crash bar right over here. You can see it. And if I remove that, that would give me enough leverage to get this area here where I can put a bolt inside this clip. So I'm gonna have to remove the bumper and cut that area away. Some modification, huh? This is the culprit right here that's stopping me from installing the rear bumper. All I did is just do a little trimmy trim, and that should solve the problem. Now I can reinstall this rear bumper on. Fingers crossed. The rear bumper is fitting like a glove. You got to really push and everything like that. I think with the temperature being so cold in Michigan, the body kit isn't, how would you say, like flexible? Well, especially with the cold. So I've got a heater on it, which made it a little bit more flexible. But I'm able to get it on. I recommend, if you're ever going to do this, remove this wheel well. It is a pain in the butt. And then the bolt that's over here that fastens to the bumper, it's at an angle that faces towards the GLK. It's not like a normal straight up and down kind of thing. It's got to be like at an angle like this. Excuse my fingers. I'm not giving anybody the finger, but it is fitting on. All the clips are good. Park distance control sensors are in. Oh, about these clips. When I was showing how I was removing the rear bumper, I was damaging them just a little bit, but nothing too major, especially like with my chopstick kind of idea. This is the correct tool to use. It's some kind of body panel popper thing. It's soft, it's metal, you just stick it in there and the bumper just pops right off. So this is the tool I recommend. And these you can get on Amazon, eBay, or even at a local AutoZone or something like that, you know. Now I get to fasten the rear bumper back onto the GLK with those 4 nuts I was talking about, and thankfully with that little trick that I learned with using a little bit of Vaseline or grease that you put inside the socket, it holds the nut into place where you can slide it over the slides. Once again, you get to see Matrix's hair on my black shirt. Now I'm reinstalling the toolbox that was originally in the GLK. Pretty simple. It just slides into place and held down by 2 bolts. Now I'm going to reinstall this piece that I broke by mistake. And I just realized this is the auxiliary battery, which is perfectly fine. I just got to charge it up. Now I can put the tail lights in. But I'm going to use a little bit of dielectric grease. I don't need to, but I live in Michigan and the salt and corrosion are fantastic. And honestly, it doesn't hurt to put this on. I do have a rubber grommet or a tab that I need to slide the tail light into. And there we go, one driver side tail light all installed. I do like that it says Mercedes on the tail light. That's pretty classy, let's be honest. Now to do the passenger side. Now I'm just reinstalling all the trunk interior that I removed from the GLK. Thankfully the clips on the chrome plate were not damaged at all. Now installing the passenger side access panel. final piece, the resistance. Ooh, feels so good. Daddy. And there we have it, the brand new aftermarket bumper all installed. Now don't get me wrong, these trim pieces over here, I still need to install it, which I'll do after the GLK gets painted, as well as the exhaust and the little bit of trim over here. Other than that, look how good it looks. This body kit fits great. There's no lip or anything like that. All the panels are fitting great, just like it was intended to do. Now it doesn't look like much right now, but after it gets painted, you're going to see it white with black accents and a little bit of chrome. But I think it's going to look really, really good. The weather is starting to warm up, but yet Matrix finds the one area with the most snow. Bye-bye. Ready? Let's go. Puppy. Hey! We got the sensors installed in the front bumpers and on the rear bumpers. Everything's looking good. I just got to get the wheels installed on the GLK. Then I think it's time for an inspection. And once that's good, fingers crossed, then I can take the GLK to paint. New aftermarket rear bumper on, new aftermarket front bumper on, new aftermarket headlight on. Now I need to make sure that they're actually working, so I can go take the GLK to go get an inspection done to make sure that all the mechanical stuff is put back together as well as structural. And then I can take it to go get a final inspection. I need to make sure that these headlights work. Fingers crossed. Why is this GLK battery always dead? Whoa! Whoa! Why is the passenger side working and not the driver's side? Don't get me wrong, that was pretty cool with the whole illumination display thing, but why is the driver's side not doing that? Maybe I need to switch on the Mercedes. That one just went off. Huh? Woo, baby! Wow, that looks really good. I love how this is. Wow. I love how the lights are working. Woo! Oh, that is so cool. Oh, wow, that is so sweet. You see the whole whoosh, 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 whoosh. One thing I don't understand are the daylight runners, I believe, or the fog lights are not working at the bottom. I don't know if I'm missing something or misplugged something in, but they're not working. Hey, got them both working. Something's wrong with the connection. I don't think I've got it plugged in properly. Thank you very much for watching. This isn't going to be the last time that you see this Mercedes GL. Hi, bye-bye. Come say hi to everybody. Matrix says, or hi everybody. This isn't going to be the last time that we get to see the Mercedes GLK GLK350. I'm taking her to go get an inspection done, make sure everything is nice and good, she's completely roadworthy. Once that's done, I'm taking her to paint. She's going to get painted in the same white that the rest of the body is. So we're going to get the front bumper done, the hood, the fenders, and the rear badonkadonk, the rear bumper. So stay tuned for that. But the reason why I'm doing all this work is I am not going to be keeping this Mercedes GLK. Yes, it is a nice vehicle, but it's not my cup of tea. It looks good, but it's not really what I kind of fancy. So this vehicle isn't going to be mine. And I'm going to show you who it's going to go to on the next episode. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell when I release new videos on this GLK. What do you guys think of that rear aftermarket bumper? I think it looks pretty snazzy, but once I get the GLK back from paint, I'm going to put all the chrome pieces on there, make it look even better. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell on this video. I believe that there's like a little thing, a little icon down here somewhere where you can hit the button and it says subscribe, and then it's got the bell icon. You hit on the bell icon and ding ding ding. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care. Matrix, now we're just going to charge the batteries on the GLK350 and go get an inspection done. What do you think? What do you think? And then we can race with the other Mercedes.